This 2024 NASCAR Championship Betting Picks edition of the NASCAR Gambling Podcast here on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by KUTT. KUTT is a peer-to-peer social betting platform that's U.S.-based and available in 40 states. Head to KUTT.com, that's KUTT.com, and use promo code SGPN for a 10% deposit bonus. We're also brought to you by Hall of Fame Bets, the sports betting research platform for parlays, player props, and game lines. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app or visit HOFBets.com and use code SGPN to get 50% off of your first month and start making smarter bets today. And don't forget to enter our Super Bowl 58 props contest. Pick 58 Super Bowl props for a chance to win $1,000. Enter today for free at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/SB58 or the SGPN app.
Driver, start your engine!
Strap in and pull those belts up tight as the Sports Gambling Podcast Network presents the NASCAR Gambling Podcast.
I'll wreck my mom to win a championship. I'll wreck your mom to win a championship.
With all the news and the best bets for your NASCAR weekend.
It refrains me from not beating the out of you right now because you ask me stupid questions. But since I'm on probation, I suppose that's improper to say as well. If you could talk about racing things, we could talk about racing things.
Now, here are your hosts, Rod Villagomez and Cody Zeeb.
Happy Friday to everybody. I know it's only a Thursday, but guess what? Today, it's our Friday. We've made it to the end of our content week. That's what doing recap shows on Sunday will do for you, Cody. It'll give you an extra day to sort of catch your breath and get ready because we have the most important week in all of motorsports coming up next week. It's Daytona 500 week. So this is the last week, Cody, and I kind of say this with a tear in my eye, that it is the official end to the off season. I suppose as the
offseason ended last week, Rod. We're fully in it now, but yes, the official season starts next week. Our next show, Rod, we're going to be making our picks for the Daytona 500. Oh, yes, let's fucking go. So
crazy. Dos Flacos in the chat already. Cheers, boys. Cheers and old fashioned. What's up, Rob and Cody? Well, for those of you who don't know, behind the scenes, myself, Cody, and Justin of the Old Fashioned Fantasy Football Podcast have a text thread going. And today, I don't know what it is. I get ahead of myself in my brain, and I've had so many friends named Mark over the years.
I'm going to blame this on Justin, to be honest with you. He goes by J Mark.
Yes.
So if you go by J Mark and not Justin, what do you want? People are going to mess up and call you Mark instead.
It's not his fault. I told him to hurry up and change his damn name already. I want him because if I'm going to call him Mark, and he might as well just be Mark.
Mark.
But yeah, Mark Martin. There was a Mark Martin once upon a time.
There you go.
Anyway, so I got called out in our text thread. And
oh, now he's going to spell my name wrong in the chat. Because of, oh, wow. Okay.
Shots fired. But we do love Justin. And we got to make sure you go listen to that show. There's so many good interviews, and there's a big one coming up too. I'm not going to blow it for them, but make sure you're following because they got a good one coming up soon.
Yeah, you're going to want to be subscribed to their channel, and they do a hell of a job over there. We always love that show, and even it's off season, but like us, they don't take an off season. They keep things going, and love it.
Drinking doesn't have an off season. So there's a guy for you. I love that. Kevin S checking into the chat saying NASCAR off season is the shortest in sports, but it feels like the longest. Hey, we've been there, buddy.
It does. That's why talking about it all off season helps. Cause it didn't like this off season did feel like a shorter one because we were constantly talking about it. We constantly had new odds to talk about. Like we kind of stayed right in it, but yeah, like in the past, it's just been like it ends. And then it's just I think it's because it's the worst couple of months. I mean, yeah, the holidays, yes. But then like January is like 4,000 days long, right? And so it's just like you're just slowly getting there. And finally it's back. But glad that it's here. Glad we're back. Oh, it's so beautiful. Today we get to make championship picks. This is that's going to be awesome. Obviously, if you've been listening all off season, or if you're new and you haven't and you want to go back, we covered all of the championship odds, kind of walking through them, making a case for different drivers, why we maybe liked their numbers, why we didn't. Today, it's time for our official picks, the bets we're going to be placing on all 3 series, couple win totals we like too. So fun way to wrap up the end of the official off season before we're full on into it next. We've been making plans every week for our shows, like what are we going to talk about this week, what's going on, and then like next week it's like we don't have to worry about it, right? We got 3 pick shows, all 3 series are in action. Underdog show, we're gonna have underdog plays for you, Draftkings DFS stuff. We got, and we'll already have all the information. We can actually build lineups on Friday. It's gonna be a beautiful week. I'm so excited.
I love when show prep takes care of itself too, because that's it too. During the season, when we're in season, there's really hardly the only show prep we do is the research for the actual bets in the race. Like there's no what should we do this week? What should we talk about this week? It's all straight up the way it goes. The gears continue to turn. So I love that. And yeah, this week we are going to be making some championship picks, some official picks. We did spend a lot of time going over our leans and how we feel, but this is where we put it on paper and have everybody go back and say, well, you said that so-and-so was going to win the championship and they did not, and you don't know what you're talking about. And it's like, okay, well, did you listen to the rest of the shows and how we won you a lot of money over the course of the season? If I missed that one pick, I'm sorry, but I think the few couple dozen that I get right over the course of the season are going to make up for it. So never you mind.
Exactly. It's going to be a fun season. There is a couple of news items if you want to jump into those real quick before we get to the picks. There was a test today at Bristol that included Spire, RFK, and Legacy. So of course, one team from each manufacturer, as is generally the case. They were testing the wet weather tires on Bristol, which has been a track, it's one of the short tracks that's not included in the wet weather package. So kind of interesting there, getting a taste for how those maybe work on that track, if it's possible to step it up to a bigger, faster track, right? We've got the wet weather package right now for the shorter tracks, the flatter tracks where it's easier. You're moving up to Bristol's still a short track, of course, but very much banked, holds a lot more speed. Are they going to be able to do it here? Man, a couple years from now, we might be racing Daytona in the rain, Rod. You never know.
My God.
that would be I think we're a little ways away from that. But, and again, probably not in the rain, but in the wet. And of course, we know that could help things. So it'll be interesting to see. I've not seen like a report as far as how things went with this or anything. They did. So Bob said they're doing the wet weather test to see if it's applicable for that track, to be able to run in the damp like the other short tracks. No wipers, no lights, no rear flaps, wouldn't run in the rain or any significant spray. So again, it would just be for, if the track is wet, instead of having to dry it for 2 hours, be able to get out there and go once it's dry enough to keep it down. So again, at least they're continuing to test things and try and get us a little farther along in this. So you like to see it.
And if for nothing else, again, we really are sort of stopped in our tracks almost literally when there's rain on NASCAR, and any improvement they can make to even get us out there when the track is, because it takes forever to dry those tracks. Like those big Titans are out there.
That's usually the longest. It can rain for 5 minutes, but then you lose the track and it takes 2 hours to dry it off. So yeah, that has been the biggest improvement. The one other announcement today, Daniel Suarez is going to drive Xfinity Series at Daytona. It's going to be a colleague entry or a colleague prepared car, but it's going to be an SS Greenlight Racing entry. But I just shared this in the Discord, so go over there and check it out. This might be one of the most beautiful cars we've ever seen, Rod. Wendy's sponsorship has shifted over to Trackhouse, and it's going to be the 14 car. Interesting decision on the number. I don't know what the deal is there, but it is just beautiful. It's almost like a blue camo looking color to it, and then it's got Wendy right on the front. It's absolutely beautiful. Go check it out over in the Discord channel. I might have to try and find a die cast of that car because it's really pretty.
I can't wait. I love me some good paint schemes. That's the one thing about NASCAR. When they get the paint schemes and nail it, it's so beautiful to watch those cars on the track. So looking forward to that. Looking forward to watching Daniel Suarez get a little more. I mean, I'll talk about him in a little bit. Spoiler alert, but
oh boy,
he may come
you
up.
Got Daniel Suarez on this list.
He may come up in a conversation. We'll talk
All
about
right,
it.
all right.
Definitely got to get there. All right, we're going to get to our championship picks. But first, let me tell you about DraftKings. Looking for a super offer for Super Bowl 58? DraftKings Sportsbook has you covered. New customers can bet on the big game and turn $5 into $200 instantly in bonus bets. They say that there's a football game going on this weekend. I don't know who's playing, but I do know that it'll be a big one. I'm just kidding. I know exactly who's playing. And those San Francisco 49ers still holding on to a 2-point favorite over the Kansas City Chiefs. That is one of the lines available to you at DraftKings. The over-under set at 47.5. The San Francisco money line at -120, and the Kansas City money line at +100. Just some of this, just scratching the surface of everything you can find over there on DraftKings. They got props, they've got novelty props, they've got all kinds of crazy stuff going on over there. So make sure to download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code SGP. New customers can bet $5 to get $200 instantly in bonus bets only on DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of Super Bowl 58 with code SGP. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER, or in West Virginia, visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling, or call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 plus, age varies by jurisdiction, void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. cdkng.com/football for eligibility and deposit restrictions, terms, and responsible gaming resources. All season long, we're going to be giving you Underdog fantasy plays. We gave you a whole ton of them too. Go back yesterday. We listed off a ton of our favorite Underdog fantasy plays for the Super Bowl. And as soon as we get some for Daytona, we're going to give you a ton of those as well, because Underdog fantasy has a way to play alongside your favorite fantasy players all season long. NFL, NBA, NHL, college basketball, college football, NASCAR, F1, go-kart races at your local Boomers track, whatever it is. Simply pick higher or lower on your favorite players' fantasy stats and cash in. You can win 100x with some spicy plays, and there may be a couple of spicy plays in that episode yesterday. So go back and listen to that as well. Watch along, make your picks, maybe make a little cash over on Underdog's mobile app or website, underdogfantasy.com. When you use the promo code and sign up with the promo code RACESGPN, Underdog's going to double your first deposit of up to $100. That's Underdog Fantasy promo code Race SGPN. Well, Cody, I believe that it is time for us to start laying out our official championship picks. I'm a little nervous. Never done this before. So this will be something I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just kidding.
You never given out picks before?
Never given out championship picks before. No, I had definitely not. Yeah, looking forward to this one, because we're going to have some fun with these. There's a lot of stuff that you're going to hear us say that we've said before, but again, this is official. And two, really this is us just sort of giving you the official super futures picks. So Cody, where are we starting? We're going with the Truck Series first, is what's in a box. So let's do Truck Series champs first.
Yeah, so gonna jump over to the Truck Series first, and I am going to start off plus 450 with our friends over on DraftKings, Christian Ekes. I'm all in on Corey Heim this year, of course, as you know from listening to last year. I think he's going to have a dominant season. I think he's going to be great. Plus 250 as a favorite. The number, it's so low. And again, what you have to keep in mind when you're betting on the NASCAR champions for all three series is, we get whittled down to 4 drivers. And so you have to be one of the better 4, right? One of the best 4 by the end to be one of those 4. But once you get in there, and if you can, even as a longer shot, make it into that race, as we've seen specifically in the Truck Series the last couple of years, a long shot can win these races, right? Or be the best finishing guy in that one race, and then they become the champion. So something to definitely, keep in mind as you're placing these. It's real hard to take the chalk at the top, just because, a guy like Kyle Larson, could win 15 races and then he doesn't get it done in that final race. So keep that in mind. So as much as I love Heim, the number's too short. Ekes is next on the board, but I think his number is good enough. As we've kind of talked about this offseason, Hyman Ekes are my guys this year. I think they're going to be 1-2 in the trucks. I think they're going to be kind of head and shoulders above everyone else. I think it's going to be these two in a class of their own, and then everyone else kind of following on behind. And so I like Ekes. If I can get him at plus 450 now, maybe we get to that championship race. You find a way to get in on Hyman or something at that point. But love Christian Ekes this season. I think he's going to have a great year. I think we're going to see him win quite a few races. I talk about that again in a few minutes here. But it's going to be a solid year from Ekes. That program should be even more stepped up, right? We know GMS shut the doors. Some Chevy. I think a lot of the Chevy resources are going to shift to Spire, of course, but I think a lot of them are going to shift over to the McAnally here. And I think that they're going to have improved performance. And Rod, I'm going to take his former teammate from last year also. Jake Garcia, 22-1. This is my long shot pick. Just kind of calling my shot early on this guy, right? I've been big on him all off season. I think he's going to have a huge season. He's moving from McAnally over to ThorSport. ThorSport's won 2 of the last 3 championships in the Truck Series. They've got a strong, solid team. We've seen, Ben Rhodes obviously with those championships. We've seen Majeski make it to the championship race. They've been around for a long time. Crafton's won 3 championships with them before. They're consistently there. They consistently have good trucks, and they're consistently solid. And I think we're going to see that from Garcia. Saw a lot of potential last year. He missed the first couple of races of the season, not even old enough to race in those races. That's how young he is. He's fresh, 18. He'll be 19 early on into the season. Young kid, a lot of talent in elite truck equipment. I think he could take this a long way. I think he's a really good guy to get in early now. You get the bigger number at 22-1. He comes out and wins a race or two. All of a sudden, that number is going to drop drastically. You get to the end of the season, you sit, maybe both these guys make the championship. You'll have an opportunity to pivot later on. But Jake Garcia is my long shot for me at 22-1 over on Caesars, and Christian Ekes plus 450 on DraftKings. Those are my Truck Series championship picks.
I love it. I love me some Christian Ekes. I feel like we're going to be saying his name quite a bit this season. So I'm on with you on that one as well. So for me, though, I'm going ThorSport. I guess I'm all in on ThorSport. I didn't know that I was going to wake up this morning and choose violence, but here I am. I will say that Kevin S. has Sanchez and Purdy in trucks. He's rooting for anarchy. That's going to be total anarchy as well. But
Sanchez, I don't know what Sanchez's number's at. I'm trying to pull it up here quickly, but Sanchez is an interesting case. I don't mind that at all. I'm not sold on the Purdy experiment. I don't know if I've just watched him in not great equipment for long enough that he's burned me or just not proven it to me enough. I don't know. Not sold on him, but the truck should be good, right? Spire should be really good. We would assume still kind of TBD, but Sanchez 11-1. He's worth a look. I'm probably not going to place that bet just yet, but I like it, Kevin.
Yep, I do too. All right. Well, like I said, I woke up and chose ThorSport. So I got Rhodes at plus 650 over on DK to repeat. Listen, this guy just sneaks up, and you look at who's gone now, right? You look at all of the spots that are vacated and who's missing from that. There's a lot of heavy hitters that were at the top of that list that are gone this year. Not to Carson Hocevar, not there anymore. Zane Smith, not there anymore. You take out Matt DiBenedetto, who was never really a threat, but like, what are you going to do at this point? And it just, to me, it feels like Ben Rhodes could be sneaky. Ben Rhodes could be sneaky and end up winning a second championship in a row without some of those big heavy hitters in there. And he's good enough to do it, right? He did it last year. He's done it a couple of times already. So you can never really count out Ben Rhodes. And this is why this is me not doing it. This is me just go ahead and picking him now. That way, when at the end of the season, and he does end up winning back-to-back championships, then we go, oh, yeah, we knew that all along. Instead of going, man, I can't believe we didn't pick this at the beginning of the year because, all signs pointed to Crafton or to Rhodes winning this championship, and then we're kind of left holding the bag. I know he had 1 win last year, but he had 14 top 10s, 7 top 5s, and just did enough. He did enough to win the championship. So he could do it again. We'll see if he does. Then I picked his teammate, Matt Crafton. 28-1. Dos Flacco saying Crafton to get his lick back on Sanchez's dad plus 250 needs to happen. That's a cut bet right there.
There you go.
But here's Crafton. So Crafton, I believe, is going to be another opportunity. He finished 9th, no wins, 2 top 5s, 9 top 10s. Cody said to me just before we got live, he's like, you're going to ride this Crafton train until it falls right off. And I am, because listen, if the championship came from that garage, then nothing's to say that Crafton can't do it. Crafton is the wily vet. Again, you have these guys that are gone that were really big competition for all of these guys. And you free it up for guys like Crafton and for Rhodes to come back and actually dominate a little bit. I mean, in 6 years, he hasn't won a race. Or I'm sorry, so I'm looking at the wrong thing. In 24 years, he's won 15 races, which is not like a gigantic thing, but he's got 24 years in the truck series. Come on, break through.
That's and Kevin with a good point. He's too long. That's a good pick, and hard to argue. So going to Ben Rhodes, Rod, he's won 2 of the last 3 championships. That's enough of an argument. If you go back to 2 years ago in that championship race, if his teammate Majeski doesn't spin out, Rhodes potentially holds off Zane Smith, wins that championship. We could be talking about 3-time in a row champion Ben Rhodes, and you're still getting him at plus 650. It's very hard to argue with a bet like that. Not going to be the most dominant guy throughout the season. Not going to win 5-6 races. That's not what he does. He's clutch, shows up in the right time, at the right spot. If he gets to that championship race, you have got a shot with him. So I like that. Crafton, I think his time has come and gone, right? I do think that. I think that we're done seeing Crafton win championships, but he's been doing it for 24 years. Like you said, the top heaviness of the truck series kind of departed, so, if a guy like Ekes or Heim doesn't make the championship race, opens up another spot, something could happen crazy. If Crafton finds and like we've seen, if you get hot at the right time, you get hot at the end of the season, finds his way into that championship race. He's won 3 of them before. ThorSport, his team, has won 2 of the last 3. We both just made arguments for his teammates. Why couldn't he get it done? I think at 28-1, it is worth taking a look at least, because it's, I would say, pretty unlikely, I think, where he's at. But if he gets there, you can't count him out. And I think that's important to point out.
Yeah, I'm definitely, like I said, for Crafton, maybe I feel it because I'm the old wily vet and I'm the old man and I want the old man to win. So give me Matt Crafton. Ashley Lemming from England.
All right.
Ben. Hey, I think you are the first, Ashley, to comment from outside of the United States. So thank you
We've seen from like Spotify, we have some listeners outside the U.S., but you're the first confirmed listener, so we appreciate it.
We appreciate that. Loving the show. Been watching since the Clash. Can't get involved in the U.S. sites fantasy stuff as it's restricted. Yeah, but do have Sportsbook here to wager on. Great. Well, we hope
I'd be interested to see. Hit us up in the DMs. I'd be interested to see what your odds, like how your odds are compared. If they're comparable to ours, or if it's like just completely different. I would assume it's probably somewhat close, but interested to see. Thanks for listening from across the pond. We appreciate it.
They actually over there in the UK, they use decimal odds. So you really have to
so shit's all so it's gonna be a while before we convert everything to figure out how to place bets for you.
Because you already know how bad we are at math. So definitely don't like that. All right. We are going to continue on with our picks for you, our championship picks, but I'm excited to tell you. Like I said, that big game's coming up quickly. We got a Super Bowl 58 contest that is a props contest. $1,000 winner takes all. The price is right. It is free to enter. All you got to do is pick 58 props for Super Bowl 58. And if you want to do that and win $1,000, enter today at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/SB58 or find the link in the SGPN app. We talked about KUTT bets. KUTT bets, what are they? Well, KUTT is a peer-to-peer social betting platform that's U.S.-based and available in 40 states. It's peer-to-peer social betting. It's a new and better way to bet. You can bet directly against your friends or other users, not just on sports, but pop culture, politics, all the other things that you can find that have verifiable outcomes, plus tons of fun social features that give it the feel of a betting social network. Above all, KUTT offers the lowest VIG and fully customizable odds, which means you create your own bets. How awesome is that? KUTT handles the payment side of things too. So no chasing down anybody for the money that they owe you after you inevitably win, because not only do you listen to this show and you're brilliant, but they don't and they're not. So make sure you take full advantage of that. Social features, group chats, betting leaderboards, head-to-head histories, user profiles, fan groups, so much more, and rewards. You can get cash back every single time you bet against your friends or other users. Our partners at KUTT are giving away $5,000 to the user who refers the most new depositors by the end of Super Bowl weekend. All you got to do is get your friends to sign up and win $5,000. Yes, please. All you got to do to invite your friends is to sign up for a KUTT via invite friend button on your dashboard and then have them deposit before Monday. The user who has the most deposit referrals will get $5,000 in site credit automatically added to their account next week. Woo! KUTT is the peer-to-peer social betting platform that's US-based and available in 40 states. Head to KUTT.com. That's KUTT.com. Use promo code SGPN for a 10% deposit bonus. Buying tickets is stupid. Buying them online or even worse because you get gouged. And then sometimes you don't know if you're going to make it to your event until maybe the day before, maybe a couple of hours before, hell, maybe even 5 minutes before something frees up and you can make your. And now you're stuck buying tickets and you don't know if you're going to get them in time. You don't know if they're going to be real. You don't know if somebody's trying to scalp you tickets online. Take a deep breath. Gametime eliminates everything, all that stress, because they are going to give you all of your tickets that you need. They're going to be authentic. That's the Gametime guarantee. That's going to be on time. You're going to get lower fees, better prices. It's made for your phone, so you don't have to wait for the tickets to get mailed to you. Everything is so convenient. Gametime makes it all there for you. Not to mention, they're going to send you a picture right from your seat. You're going to get to see what you're looking at before you even get to look at it. So snag the tickets without the stress with Gametime. Download the Gametime app, create an account, use code CFBX for $20 off of your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code CFBX for $20 off. Download Gametime today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. I've been working on my can I get people anxious voice. Is it work? Do you feel the anxiety when I get there? It's you know.
It's great. I love you sell you completely sold the deep breath. You're like, you get to the end and you're like, deep breath. And it was just like, oh, okay. I took a deep breath when you said that. So it's great. Ashley says it's 10:38 p.m. there, so cup of tea for her on a Thursday evening in snowy Yorkshire. There you go. Nice cup of tea. We could have a cup of tea with the Legacy Motor Club, right? And she's also wondering.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry. I clicked on this one.
No, you're good. You're good.
Question for you. Do you ever preview the ARCA series and give you picks for that? We don't have any odds. If we get odds for the ARCA series, we will be adding an extra show. Of course, we do Xfinity and trucks. But yeah, just ARCA's not every once in a while I've kind of seen some like to win odds on some offshore books and stuff, but not really a full like slate of odds to bet. So I don't know. It'd be a little bit of a tougher series probably to put odds on just because it's kind of top heavy, but it could definitely be bet. So books, we know you listen. Go ahead and give us odds for ARCA, and we'll talk to the bosses and add a sixth show to the series because it'd be great. And yeah, Dos Flacco says need IROC odds. They're supposed to be doing potentially an IROC race this season. So if they do, hopefully, hopefully that we'll get that. We had SRX last season. We talked about that. Kevin says never seen ARC odds. Yeah, I don't think I have either. Yeah.
Nick Fortune, we see you in the chat. Yes, acknowledge you. And also Ashley, yes, that's why I left it there. I didn't say anything because I was like, nope, this is it. So Ashley, we got you. We're following up on that one. So
also saying, Daytona ARCA 200 lines are out with SVG and Marco Andretti in the lineup. Bovada has. Oh, okay. Well, well, stay tuned then, because if that's the case, make some notes here. And we'll look into that more. And if there is stuff to be found, we'll have picks for you, Ashley.
Indeed. Speaking of picks, let's continue on with our Xfinity Championship picks. Cody, who do you have to win it all in the Xfinity Series?
Well, to the surprise and shock and awe of everyone, I'm going with a Joe Gibbs Racing driver to absolutely nobody's surprise. Of course, all in on Joe Gibbs Racing, all in on the Toyotas last year. I'm rolling it over to this year. They've got a new lineup, but I don't care. Chandler Smith, 10-1 over on Bet365. Rod, Chandler Smith was very impressive last season. Had a couple of races where he dominated, a couple of races where he looked really strong, held back by equipment. We know the Kaulig equipment just is not top-notch. You get guys in there like Chandler Smith, and we know Chandler can do good things in it. And AJ has done and will do good things in it, but The equipment is not top tier. It's not JRM equipment. It's definitely not JGR equipment. So I think at 10-1, I think, if you go back over the last couple of seasons and you look at how they had some of the more dominant cars in John Hunter last year and in Ty Gibbs the year before. I know that those guys didn't, Ty Gibbs did win the title, but John Hunter didn't win it last year. But you think about that, and then you look over here, and his odds are kind of a little bit longer just because there's some uncertainty of, he was like 8th place last year or whatever. But it's such an upgrading car. We know how talented he is. We saw how good he was in the KBM trucks, in the truck series, and we saw him do well enough in colleague equipment. He's going to take that next step. He's going to win quite a few races, I think, this year. He's going to be very strong. That whole stable is going to be, 3/4 of that stable is going to be really strong. Joe Graf's going to run a few races, so won't be so strong then. But between Sheldon Creed, between Chandler Smith, and then between that Eric Almirola / John Hunter car, that car is going to be so good too. They're going to be strong, and you're giving me a full-time JGR car at 10-1 to win a championship. They're going to find their way there. He's going to find his way in that championship race. He can get it done. He's won Phoenix before in the truck series, so we know that Chandler can get it done. So 10-1, give me Chandler Smith. And then for a long shot, of course, got to go with our guy Riley Herbst. He's 20-1, Rod. I don't know if the books weren't paying attention at the end of last season or what the deal was, but he came on strong, dominated that Las Vegas race, got the win, really, really showed out near the end of last season. And I think he picks up, didn't make the playoffs last season, just missed out. I think he'll pick up where he left off, carry that momentum. His teammate just won the championship last season. And at the end of the year, he was doing just as well as his teammate was. And Custer comes back in as one of the favorites. Why Herbst is so long at 20-1 on DraftKings, I don't know. But I love getting Herbst at 20-1. So Chandler Smith, 10-1. Riley Herbst, 20-1. Those are my Xfinity Series championship picks.
Yeah, we aren't done talking about either one of those guys at all this season. They will be hot and heavy on all of our picks cards. A lot of probably outrights on these guys on these tracks. We expect big seasons out of both of them. And then Riley Herbst was a top 5 machine the last few seasons. So I mean, it's for him, that's just a top 5 bet almost every season. You might as well lock it in. And that's enough what it takes, right? That kind of consistency is what it takes to win championships. So as long as he can put it all together and really come through with a couple of wins, yeah, I think this is a good one, especially 20-1. There's no way you shouldn't be betting this one. Well, listen to the no shock and awe and surprise of anybody on this show. If you've listened for 10 minutes, Ashley may not know because Ashley hasn't gone back through it and listened to all the seasons yet. So, Ashley, this may be new to you, but me and Junior Motorsports have a thing going on, right? I think somebody wrote a song about it, that Rod and Junior Motorsports. I don't know, whatever that is. I love Junior Motorsports, so I'm gonna pick Justin Allgaier, right? I mean, this is kind of a no-brainer. Plus 350 for Allgaier. I know that it's not necessarily a sexy pick, and it's almost I guess a chalky pick. But look, for Justin Allgaier, it's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time before he doesn't Justin Allgaier himself out of a championship, right? Because we saw that he was doing so well last season, and he got into the Final Four. We were all excited about. Well, I was all excited about it, and then it didn't happen. So for me, I feel like this is his season to get it done. It's going to be tough. It's not going to be an easy road for him. I know he's one of the favorites, which is why Allgaier second on the board to Cole Custer, and for good reason. But great first name, but yeah. Yes,
you're a glutton for punishment, Rod?
Yeah, it does, Flacos. You already know this. This is nothing new to anybody. I do love it. But Justin Allgaier finished second, obviously, in the standings last season. 4 wins, 15 top 5s, 20 top 10s. Like, when's it going to be his turn, Cody? When's it going to be his turn? This year. It'll be his turn. And then if he doesn't get there, Austin Hill at 10-1. I'm okay with taking a stab at Austin Hill. Austin Hill finished 5th. Another guy that was just a perennial top finisher, right? And we almost thought he was going to end up winning the whole thing too. Austin Hill, 4 wins along with Allgaier, 16 top 5s, 24 top 10s, right? Just 346 laps led on the season. A front runner. Guys like that, they know how to put it together, and all they got to do is just clean up a couple of mistakes and they're champions. So I think 10-1 for Austin Hill probably is a little bit better of a proposition than 350 or plus 350 for Allgaier. But again, right, I'm not trying to get fancy with these. I just really want to pick guys that I think have a strong opportunity to do it. And I think the price is right for Hill. But Allgaier is just because like Dos Flacco said, I am a glutton for punishment. So give me all the Allgaier pain all season long.
Yes, you are a glutton for punishment. Allgaier plus 350. He's been in the series how long and has how many championships? Man, that's just such a low price. I can't back you on that one, Rod. Of course, Xfinity Series, where Rod and I disagree the most. So we can't start the season doing anything other than disagreeing. So I will disagree with him on that. Austin Hill, however, is a great buy at 10-1. We saw it last year, right? He won 4 or 5 races. Just missed out on making the Final Four after some teammate issues there late in the season. I think that he is a very solid pick. And really, I'm surprised he's at 10-1. If I didn't like Chandler Smith so much, he definitely would have been the guy that I went with. Picks by Fitch chiming in. Josh Williams plus 25,000 easy. Hey, whatever. There's a small outside possibility he could make it. He's at least not. He's in a decent enough car that it could happen. We saw what Chandler did in the car. We saw what AJ's been able to do. I mean, AJ's won the last 2 regular season titles for when he was competing full time in Xfinity. It's actually not the craziest bet you could make. I wouldn't plan on feeding your family with it, but stepping up. He's never had an opportunity in elite equipment. And his colleague elite, no, but they're just they're one of the more top tier teams at least.
They're elite adjacent.
The clash is really hard to tell, but he was the first out in making the clash. I mean, guys like Josh Berry weren't even close to making it in there. Now again, that's a couple laps in practice, whatever, but it's it's not the worst bet you could ever make for sure. So if you want to get in on that, I don't mind. Steven Williams is joining. He's a little late. Says Chastain, don't worry, we haven't got to our Cup Series picks, so maybe one of us has the watermelon man.
Maybe we are about to go watermelon farming. But I'll tell you what we're about to do first is tell you about Hall of Fame Bets. Win bigger by betting smarter this NFL season with Hall of Fame Bets, the sports betting analytics platform for parlays, player props, and game lines. Research every NFL, NBA, and soccer bet with historical stats and data. Enter any parlay idea into Hall of Fame Bets, a revolutionary parlay optimizer tool to get hit rates broken down by leg, as well as an expected probability for the entire parlay. Sort all players by hit rates for any bet to learn which players are hot and which picks have value. Stop betting in the dark. Join over 30,000 users researching with Hall of Fame Bets to craft more intelligent, data-driven parlays. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app or visit hofbets.com and use code SGPN to get 50% off of your first month today. Start researching, start winning with Hall of Fame Bets. Well, speaking of Cup, I think it is time to unveil our official Cup Series championship picks for the 2024 season. Cody, what say you?
Well, I say, first of all, Steven says Suarez winning the Xfinity race this weekend, driving the Wendy's car. I have the inside scoop for that pick. I can guarantee you he will not win the Xfinity race this weekend. Next weekend, though, is highly possible. That is a fucking gorgeous car. We talked about that earlier on in the show. It's a beautiful car. It might be worth finding a way to bet on him just because of that car. So Dos Flacco says, judging from his Clash performance attitude, doesn't appear to be Ross's year. Sad. Actually, spoiler alert, neither of us, well, never mind. We'll get in there. We'll get into Ross more in a minute. But I think that the Clash performance attitude could be something actually to take for a positive when it comes to Ross. So getting into our championship picks for Cup, I did what I always do, Rod, and I stuffed this box. I couldn't just sit with 2 guys. There was too many good plays on the board. There's too much for good odds. So you look at the top of the board, you can make a strong case for any of these guys at the top of the board, right? Can Kyle Larson win another championship? He's one of the best race car drivers in all of the world. Of course he could. Could William Byron finally get it done? He had a hell of a season. Of course he could. Could Chase Elliott? Could Denny Hamlin? I mean, you can make the case for all these guys. But I think that based on the format, and we've seen it the last 2 years now, where it's been guys that are good and on solid teams and are strong race car drivers, but they weren't the favorites and they weren't expected to be up there and they were longer shots. again, you get to Phoenix, you get to that Final Four. All you have to do is be the best finishing guy. You don't even have to win the race, as we saw last year for the first time. So I'm going to go down the board. Tyler Reddick, if you've listened to this show in the offseason, so bullish on Tyler Reddick. Absolutely love him this year. I think he's going to have an outstanding season. I think he's going to be great this season. I think this is the year we're going to look back on and be like, remember when Kyle Larson broke out? Remember when Tyler Reddick broke out? This is that year. I think we see him in victory lane a lot. I think we're going to talk about him week in and week out being one of the favorites. I think you're going to look back later in the season, even if he doesn't win the championship, and think, wow, I got him at 16-1. He's nowhere close to that anymore. So I think Tyler Reddick is a great pick. I think he can get it done. He's a championship material driver, and he is one of the more talented guys. We haven't quite seen the full talent yet. Extremely talented. If they can clean up the mistakes they had last year, that team is going places. Mo expects the team to win. Denny expects the team to win. Tyler and Bubba expect the team to win. These guys aren't just there to drive around. They're there to win races. They're there to win championships. Can you imagine being the first guy to bring Michael Jordan a championship in NASCAR? Oh boy, you're forever, cemented your legacy there. So I think 16-1 over on DraftKings. Tyler Reddick, I still can't believe his number's this big. I love him so much this week. So, or this year in general. So give me Tyler Reddick. Also, going to go back on the Kyle Busch train, 18-1 over on Superbook. Look, we gave him out last year, 20-1 to start the season. He comes out, he wins multiple races early on in the year, and then things trailed off. They kind of lost it, and he got bounced from the playoffs a little bit earlier. It ended disappointingly, but he won 3 races. We saw early in the year what the team can be, and we saw how good they can be and how well they can work together. I think if they put a few more pieces together, and that's just the wins he got. He was really close to winning a couple of road courses, some other races. He could have won 5 races last season, and we might be having a different conversation. This, again, 18-1, I think 4 or 5 weeks into last season, we'd gotten him at 20-1, 22-1 in the offseason, something like that. And he was the favorite all of a sudden at like 6-1 because he won an auto club early, won another race early, was looking really strong. Things changed. But again, in a series where getting hot at the right time means so much, a guy like Kyle Busch, one of the most talented drivers we've seen in all of NASCAR history, he is a guy that can get it done. He's already won 2 championships. No reason he couldn't do it again. Think about him bringing a championship to RCR. They haven't won one since Dale did it back in the day. It's Kyle Busch is the guy for that job. I think we're going to continue to see him be strong there. I think 18-1 is just a disrespectful price for the 2-time champion. And then just for Steven, the value is too good to leave him off at 22-1 for the guy who won the championship race last season. Are you kidding me? Ross Chastain, another guy who is extremely talented. We've seen him run the whole gamut, right? He was in the Truck Series, dominating some races, looking really good for Nice. Then he's kind of, starting and parking in the Truck Series for years and running in shitty equipment in the back. Then he gets in Ganassi and he looks all right. And then Trackhouse takes over and Ross busts out. Ross looks good. And then you go back to the Ross we saw in Phoenix and how strong he was. And we obviously know he can win at Phoenix in that race, not even as a Final Four guy. Now, if you put him in there, he's been to the Final Four before, as we know, the Hail Melon to get him in there. Things are they're so up for Trackhouse right now on Chastain's side of things, maybe not so much on the other side of things, right? But they've got the Anheuser-Busch sponsor. He's the Busch Light driver this year. That's big. They've sold all their sponsorship for the season already. They don't have to worry about any of that stuff. And Justin Marks is a guy that wants to be a winner. Justin from Old Fashioned. You like his name. His name's Justin Marks. Really close. You just got that one extra letter. So, but yeah, I mean, and then to go back to Dos Flacco's comments about his attitude in the clash, and we saw the difference. The Chastain that doesn't give a fuck, that'll hang it on the wall at Martinsville and get in the championship race, was one Chastain. He finished second in that championship race, by the way. He was pretty close behind Joey. Not right behind him, but he was not far from catching Joey winning that race. And then we saw the, Mr. H talked bad about me and Justin Marks reprimanded me and tucked my tail and went away and nobody saw me, Ross. That Ross is gone. That Ross didn't work. Old Ross is back. He's going to piss people off. but he's going to be good. He's so talented. That car is so good. And he already just won the race. The last time we were there at 22-1. Again, all you've got to do is get there. Ross has proven already he can get there. That was in, the second year of Trackhouse? Now we're in the fourth year of them. He's been there before. He can get there again. He is a championship material driver. 22-1 on DraftKings. Again, price is just too long. There are so many good prices down the board. I love it so much. So give me Reddick 16-1, Busch 18-1, and the Watermelon Man himself 22-1.
So I'm going to keep mine a little bit, and I obviously can't fault you on any of these, right? We've already talked about Reddick, and you've talked about Reddick, and Kyle Busch can sneak one out. I'm not saying that he's about to. All these guys I'm saying that are close to retirement. Maybe it's because Jimmy retired, and I'm wondering how much longer some of these other guys can hold on to their careers, because Jimmy was still a young guy, and he's still a young guy. I know,
dude.
Kyle
is still so people. How old is Kyle? I think we've had this conversation
like
before.
40-something years old.
He's not that old. He's got a long ways to go.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But so did Jimmy, if he wanted to. Now he's only a part-timer. So
yeah, but see, and that's like Jimmy was just Kyle's only 38. Oh, he's not
even 40 yet.
Denny, think of all the races and how dominant Denny Hamlin's been the last few years. And yeah, he hasn't won a title, but Denny's 43. So yeah. Kyle's got 5 years on him still. Kyle is in late 30s. He's still in the prime of his career. If they get things figured out for sure at RCR, I like it.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be something to watch. I thought he was over 40 already. I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm lumping.
Because he's been around so fucking long. Because
I know.
Again, like Joey Logano, Joey Logano feels like he's 80 because he's been in the series so long. But he came in at 18, and Kyle was a similar age. They came in so young, and they've been good their entire career. So it just seems like they should be older than they are.
Well, somebody who's not older than he is, Chase Elliott. I'm going to go ahead and make that my official pick at 7-1. I know that it's not, the greatest of numbers, and it's not necessarily all that sexy, but look, Elliott, he had a rough year last year, right? This is a championship caliber driver who just turned out a very poor year. And obviously it was from injury, but then it was like something never came back, and I don't know, but you can't keep championship drivers down that long, which is why you said you could make a case for all of these guys. And I'm telling you right now that I think Elliott is prime for a good bounce back season, right? I know his teammate Larson is looking for another championship himself. Bowman's kind of on the outside looking in. Byron is right up there with them. But I think if any of these Hendrick guys are going to break through for a championship this year, I think it's Elliott. He's got a lot to prove. By what happened last season was just a fluke, obviously, because he got hurt. So he's going to be out driving his ass off this year to try to get back to that form. And they got the equipment. This is the top level equipment. And if he's had a full off season to rehab and to get right and to get 100%, a Chase Elliott at 100% is a Chase Elliott to fear. And I think the rest of the drivers are going to have to take notice. Maybe he doesn't start off with a bang, but he's definitely going to be able to be in the mix. I feel like he's not going to miss the playoffs this season. I don't think he's going to miss the opportunity to drive for this. And, he's good at all the right tracks. There's not a track that I can point to and go, oh, well, this is a weakness for him on this particular part of the playoffs, because he can win anywhere, and he's able to do that. And he's able to finish well in all these races. So, if you know anything about NASCAR, then you know that there's not, I don't even have to go on for 20 minutes about Elliott being able to win a championship. But I do, like I said, I do feel like this is a prove it season, not just for the fans, because screw that. This is a prove it season for himself. When you are a top level athlete and you have a year that's either plagued by injury or just underperformance, that gets to you. Because you don't want, you're not used to that. You're not used to going out there and not competing on a weekly basis for wins and for championships, right? And for Elliott, that's what last season was. He was basically just going out for a Sunday drive almost every single race. Yeah, he was out there to try to win, but at the same time, unfortunately, that didn't come out. And a lot of times he was just logging laps. So this is going to be a fired up 9 team. It's a championship caliber team already. And now they have something to prove. So I feel like Elliott is a good, especially at 7-1. That's kind of a price where, if he was a little shorter, I probably wouldn't say it. But the fact that he's at 7-1, I definitely like that price there as well. And then Cody, is 2024 an even year or an odd year?
Again, every single number in 2024 even. So yeah, I'm gonna go with even.
Okay, well, Joey Logano is going to win the championship this year because it is an even year. 12-1 for Joey Logano. I mean, look, I'm not going to rattle off a ton of stats.
He's made the final four, the championship four, 5 times, Rob. All 5 in even years.
All 5 in even years.
Crazy.
Yeah. So again, this is Joey Logano's year to step back up again. I mean, when people said that the Giants, when it was in 2010, 2012, 2014, and then in 2014, they were like, there's no way that they could do it again. There's no way that they could win it again in 2014. What did they do? They went out and won it in 2014. So listen, if you buy into any of that stuff, Logano, that is your year. And it's not without merit either, because obviously we know that Joey Logano is a good driver in his own right. I know Cody continues to say he's one of the toughest drivers in the garage to handicap, but we're not trying to handicap him race by race. We're just trying to say that at the end of the year, he is going to be holding the final.
Oh my God. How old is Joey Logano?
35.
He's 33.
Jesus,
Holy
even I was too
shit.
high.
God,
30,
he is so young still.
Erica says hello. Hi, Erica. Yes,
Hey,
sweet
Erica.
Ty Gibbs love.
Yes, that's my. I'm gonna go ahead and just put it out there right now. My 2025 champion is Ty Gibbs. So
Yeah. Go
tune back in next year for that pick.
I love it. So yeah, Elliott, Logano, those are my 2 championship picks. And I know, again, it's hard to get super spicy with championship picks because it's not as if, I mean, every rookie has an opportunity to do this. It's usually the veteran guys that have won races, that have won championships, that are the better ones to bet on. And if I get bit by a long shot, if I get bit by, somebody sneaky winning a championship, I'll take that. But I'd much rather lose with a guy that I'm 98% sure is going to be there at the end than not.
Yeah, it's Elliott. I think the price is still good. It's again, he gets the Dallas Cowboys, the New York Yankees bump, right? He's the most popular driver, so you're never going to get a great number on him. But 7-1 is still a good number, especially there is probably not a driver that gets on streaks more so than Chase Elliott. And he proved that when he won the championship in 2020. He got a hot streak at the end that just carried him there. And he's a very hot and cold driver. When he's cold, he's cold. When he's hot, he's hot. He can definitely get it done. He's done it before, obviously. The Logano thing, again, 5 times in even years. It's at some point, it's not a fluke anymore. So he can get you there. Can you imagine if Penske wins the first 3 championships in the brand new car? Like, what would the odds on that would have been? God, 1 billion to 1. Like, nobody would have ever thought Penske would win probably any of the first 3, let alone all 3 of them. That would be pretty crazy. But yeah, hard to argue with either of those guys.
All right. Well, we're going to wrap up our show with giving you some win totals that we like, some official win totals on the books. Again, we went through, if you want more kind of a more in-depth on what we did, go back and listen to our win totals episode. So this is our official picks for these, and we'll give you the elevator statement on why we're picking these ones. So Cody, I noticed that you had one from each series, so I did the same.
Oh, I love you, Rod. That's great. Yes, I did pick one from each. I got to give love to all 3. Look, all 3 series are great. Got to do each one. So starting out in the truck series, I'll be pretty quick on a lot of these because they're guys I've already talked about. Surprise. If you think they can win the championship, you probably think they're going to have a good season, right? So Christian Ekes, his over 3.5 wins is plus 115 over on Caesars. Again, I talked about it. It's going to be the Ekes and Heim show. I think that these 2 guys are going to be head and shoulders above everybody. Hocevar is gone. Smith is gone. Oh God, who's the other truck driver that went up? Hocevar, Zane, and who is the other truck driver that went up? That was great. Why am I just completely blanking?
I'm blanking with you.
He went straight to the. Oh boy.
You're okay.
Anyways, moving on. The top heavy part of it is of these favorite guys, they're gone. It's going to be the Heim and Ekes show. Heim's number is also 3.5, but it's way juiced to the over. So couldn't look at. I wanted to go with him, but again, number's just not big enough. I think Ekes is going to be step for step. Ekes already won, 4 races last season, so he can do it. We know he can do it, and think he's going to get to Phoenix with a chance to win the championship. I think he'll easily cruise over 4 wins. You're getting him at plus money at 3.5. So love Christian Ekes on the truck side of things. Moving over to Xfinity. We don't look at a lot of unders on these usually, but this is one that just sticks out to me. Jesse Love, he's under a half a win. It's a plus money at 110. over on Caesars too. And man, I love Jesse Love, right? And we think he's a very talented driver. We think he's going to do great, but the RCR equipment in Xfinity is not quite up to par as the Cup Series program is. And, Austin Hill, I think, is going to get his multiple 3-4 wins. But we saw it last year. Sheldon Creed, as talented as he is, and I think it's going to be so telling this year when Creed wins 3 or 4 races in Gibbs equipment when he couldn't do that in RCR equipment. I think that's really going to tell you what you need to know about. You imagine Austin Hill getting in JGR equipment. Oh my goodness, put Austin Hill in a good car and watch out. But as much as I love Jesse Love, I just don't think he's going to get there. So give me the under on Jesse Love wins. Obviously, super speedways are somewhere that guys like this can always win, but I don't think he's just going to go out on a normal oval and beat all these other guys with these Gibbs cars, with these JRM cars, even with some of these colleague guys out there. I don't think we're quite there on Jesse Love yet. Next year, maybe we could talk about it a little more. I think that Love is definitely a guy we need to be watching and a talented guy, but I don't think he's going to get the win just yet. Like Ryan said the other day from Win the Race when we had him on, one of those things where, maybe we'll bet on him to win some races, and maybe you hit that bet if it looks like, he was really close to winning a race, and, maybe we'll hit him to win a race, and then you lose this bet and it washes itself out. That's fine. I'd be okay losing this bet that way, but I'm going to have to see it from him in this series, in that car specifically. He was in the Toyota pipeline. If he goes to JGR, then maybe we're talking a little bit more, but even in the JGR, I don't know. I just don't, a guy like Sammy Smith was kind of the same thing, and he gets in that JGR car last year, and he did win a race, but only one. So I don't think we're going to see it from Love just yet. So give me the under on Love. Dos Flacco says he doesn't even need phone books to see over the steering wheel anymore. He's finally reached the age where he's able to see on his own. Dos Flacco's also, I started talking about Jesse Love. He said, yes, Jesse Love. And then I started talking about the under, and he goes, no, Jesse Love.
So listen,
Flacos and I need some cut bets because
you do.
He's got the Majeski Love. I don't. He's got the love, and I don't.
Don't knock the phone books because you don't know what I'm sitting on here to try to see.
Rod's got at least 3 phone books underneath of him right now, just so you can see his face.
I have the Chicago Metropolitan phone book. I have got the New York City and Staten Island phone books. They're all underneath me. There's thick ones. LA. Yeah, they're all there. But
he's got a step stool right beside the thing to get into the chair even. So and then to nobody's surprise, my Cup Series pick, it's Tyler Reddick. 2.5 wins. He's gonna smash this. He'll have this hit by 10 races into the season. If you go again, shop around is the way to do it. Tipico plus 185 for him to get over 2.5. Yes, please. That's a huge number. Honestly, 5, 6, 7 wins. Tyler, he's going to have a great season. Really excited for it. I think he'll blow past this, and you'll have this ticket cashed and waiting for the end of the season, nice and early in the season. So Ekes over 3.5, Love over 0.5, Reddick over 2.5.
Love it. Love all of them. All right. For me, I will go ahead and listen, I'm picking some low ones, a couple of low ones, and then one I think is going to blow past. But I talked about Matt Crafton. His win total is set at 0.5. I'll take the over on that, plus 130. Matt Crafton does not win.
Let's cut bet this one, Rod.
Okay, let's cut this one.
I'll take the under on this one.
Well, I was just going to say we could just do a straight yes/no bet. Does Matt Crafton win a race this season? Yes, no.
You and Dos Flacos are on level playing fields here because he also says Crafton win total.
See, I like that. Crafton win total is set at, again, 0.5 win. All he's got to do is win. He hasn't won a race since 2020. I get it. It's a drought. I understand you guys are all the Matt Crafton hate, but when you have the amount of wins that are now freed up with the Zane Smiths being out, and with the Carson Hocevar. I mean, listen, Hocevar won 4 races last year by himself, right? Zane Smith won 2. That's 6 races gone. Somebody's got to pick that up. Thor Sport's going to pick that up. Just one. All Crafton needs to do is just win one on accident. Doesn't even matter how it happens. Like the dude could literally just accidentally win his a race and you cash this one. So I know it's reckless, but I'm going to go ahead and go on record to say Crafton picks up his first win since 2020 this season. That's at plus 130. And then I'm going to take Sam Mayer. This one's a little tough because
is Dos Flacco is he in the sheet? He said this. He goes Crafton win total, Sam Mayer win total. Dos Flacos, have you hacked this and you already know the picks or what's going on?
I sent him our Google Doc beforehand. So I like that. So,
yes, Ashley. Taylor Gray over Matt Crafton for me.
that's
Thank
fine.
you. Agreed.
Just so long as Crafton wins a race, I don't care. Taylor can win a couple of them, and Matt can just win one. So we'll go for that. So Sam Mayer for me over 3.5 wins. Picked up his first wins of his career last year, right? We talk about who's vacating in the truck series. Yeah, the Xfinity Series, John Hunter Nemechek
is not. He's going to be there for half the races.
Yeah, but it's not 7. There's not 7 wins in John Hunter.
Should we cut bet that, Rod?
Cut bet that. Does John Hunter Nemechek win more than 5 races next year? Let's cut.
I'd consider the over.
Okay. Well, then we'll cut that one. Write these down. We need an official scribe. We need somebody who's going to write all this stuff like board bets that the 06010 used to have. Remember that?
We should come up with. Oh boy, let's.
You know what? Let's do that.
Let's do something like that. All right. This is the first one. How many races does John Hunter win?
I'm going to give him 5.
You're going to say under 5?
I'm going to say under 5.
All right. I'll take. Let's do 4.5. Does that work? So if he wins 5, I win.
Yeah,
if he doesn't win 5, you win.
No. Let's do 5.5 because
that's 5. I'm not saying he's a. Oh,
okay. What are you gonna? Okay,
we'll do 5. We'll do 5. If he gets to 5, it's a push.
Okay. Then there it is. Yeah, no hooks for us. So Sam Mayer, that's a plus 120 for Sam Mayer over 3.5 wins. And then I'm gonna give Daniel Suarez a win. His total is set at half a win at plus 170. And I know Daniel Suarez, not the most sexiest of names. Not somebody that's you consider winning races, and he really doesn't win any. He won the Sonoma race. So that was fantastic. That was a great story. But if we think Ross Chastain's going to be good, there's got to be a win in there somewhere for Daniel Suarez. Daniel Suarez at plus money to pick up a win. I don't think he's going to be as bad as he was last year, but plus 170. Okay, fine. Let's set that as another one.
Number 2, Daniel Suarez is not winning a race this season. I don't know what you see in Daniel Suarez. I love the dude. Glad he got to win the NASCAR Mexico race. I hope you watched because that's the time you got to see him win this season. He is not winning a race, Rod.
There's super speedways.
I gotta say, not a fan of your race win picks this year because
that's okay.
Crafton ain't winning, man. It's past him. Sam Mayer. Is Sam Mayer Noah Gragson? That's my question to you. Is he Noah Gragson of the Xfinity Series?
Noah Gragson light?
Because is he gonna get? How much did he get? What did he get? 3 wins last season, or did he get to 4?
Sam Mayer got 4.
Jesus Christ!
That's what I'm saying.
Man, that seems like I don't think he can run that back. Man, I like Mayer, but I'm torn out. 3.5 is such a big number.
Think of where he turned it on. I mean, he turned it on and made everybody. Once he finally did it, did it.
Those Flacco's just turning on me in here. Jeez.
What is
Grafton's gonna win Texas or Darlington? Pin it. Mayer in Watkins Glen. Suck it, Cody. Keep your head up, Rod.
Woo, Jesus H. That's
damn. All right.
Coming for you. I mean, look, he was second.
Also, I will agree with those.
Pocono. He was 3rd at Nashville, 3rd at Portland. I mean, 2nd in Fontana. Those are all close.
Dos Flacos did say Chase Brisk, yes, win total. That's at a half race. I would take the over on that. So we can agree on that one. He's going to win a Phoenix here early in the season. So I like it.
It's crazy stuff. All right. Well, before this show comes to complete and total MMA, I think we should probably bow.
If you like when Rod and Cody fight, tune into the Xfinity Series shows this year because that's where we really get it on.
I hate it when mom and dad fight. That's how
we're usually pretty agreeable people, but there's a few things we just don't keep up on. Oh, Ashley, it's Suarez minus 200 under. I mean, it's a lot of juice, but when you only pay the juice if you lose, Rod, as we know, and you're not going to lose.
Sorry, so Ashley, don't do this one.
Double up that Reddick top 4 at plus 350. Oh, put them together. Yes, if they allow you to do that. I love that. Tyler Reddick, plus 350, get to the top 4. Just play that by itself. Oh, man. All right. I got to go play some bets tonight. Let's get out of here.
Okay, let's get out of here. So as we let you go for the week, which, by the way, as we officially put a close to the official off season, because, the regular season starts this next week with Daytona, let us thank you very much for joining us. And for those of you who are brand new, Ashley, thank you for joining us. And for the unnamed folks out there that we haven't met personally or even online, thank you so much for being a part of the show already. We only have great things to come as the season progresses, and man, we can't wait to jump into it with you guys. And it's been a fun week. It's been a fun off season, but Cody, when we hit the ground running on Monday,
it's nonstop. It's busy. If you are new to the show, kind of a normal week will look like a recap, either Sunday night if we get a chance, or Monday. Your Cup Series picks on Tuesday. Xfinity is usually Wednesday. Trucks on Thursday if they're racing. Friday is the Underdog and Draftkings DFS episode. If Trucks or Xfinity's off, we'll separate those into 2 episodes by themselves. A little bit different next week. Monday, we're planning on doing the picks show. Hopefully, probably around 5:15 Eastern time. We'll be live here on YouTube. So go ahead and put that in your calendar. Be ready. Daytona 500 picks. Don't worry. Corey LaJoy is right here waiting to be picked. And, oh, man, we're here. We're in it. I love it. Let's fucking go.
Indeed. Well then, Cody, let everybody know where they can find you outside of the confines of this little square that they see you in, or the radio that they listen to you in every single day as we start to head out for the weekend.
As old-fashioned football says, Cody and Corey. Yes, if Corey needs a new co-host on Stacking the Pennies, hit me up, buddy.
John Little always came up with fun nicknames for us. I think Justin's going to have to come up with new names for us.
Justin can also be our other nickname guy. Anyways, follow me on the X at Husker_Zeeb. Follow the show as well on X at NASCAR Gambling. We got a Facebook page as well. Follow both of those. And then we got that Daytona 500 contest. You know the deal by now, hopefully. Go over to the X page. It's in the post, the pinned post over on the X. I'm done talking. Go 49ers, but bet on the Chiefs just to hedge yourself. And hopefully we'll be back with a happy Rod next week.
Yeah, I think if the Niners lose, Cody's going to do a solo show. I'm going to call up J Mark and have him do the NASCAR.
We'll have him come give out his Joey Logano to win the Daytona 500 bet on Monday.
Jack Wood to win the Cup Series, and he's not even in there. So. All right. We'll see you guys next week. In the meantime, follow me on X at RJ Villagomez. Link in the bio, everything I got going on, whether it's here, whether it's my picks for Sportsbook Review, whether it's the AFL podcast, whether it's, I don't know, standing, dancing on a corner for TikToks. I don't know. Whatever it is. Go 49ers. We'll see you back next week for Daytona 500, baby. And until then, let's go racing and let it ride.